We are going to tackle today the subject of what makes a good bookkeeper, and also knowing that you already have what it takes. And I'm going to show you how. I'm going to unpack that. There are 3 specific keys that we have to build a bookkeeping business, along with the tool with each of them. And I'm going to deliver those tools to you. You're going to have access to them so that you can get started in your bookkeeping business today. I am super excited to have you here. Those who haven't jumped in before, I'm Vicki Watkins. I own my very own virtual bookkeeping business. I teach other women how to build bookkeeping businesses so that they don't have to work full-time hours to make a really decent income, and they don't have to miss things for their family. Different events, sporting events, doctor's appointments, whatever it may be. I know I have 3 children, and one is cheering for the football season. So we already have an evening a week that I have to block off, practices she has. There's lots of moving parts when we have families. And the reason a lot of you are wanting to build a bookkeeping business is because you need time flexibility. You also need to earn an income. And so virtual bookkeeping is something that has you've perked your ears up to, and you're interested in it. I know that some people have questions about if it's legitimate, if it's real. Virtual bookkeeping is not one of those where when you're typing your keyboard, you've got somebody watching to see how many keystrokes you make. Nobody is watching over you to see how much time you spend on an account. It's the end result is what you're getting paid for with bookkeeping, with reconciling transactions, with processing payroll, so people get paid if you choose to add that stream of revenue in. So there are questions about if it's legitimate. I'm here to tell you it is. I have been doing it for over a decade. I have been in the accounting financial industry for over 20 years. I have taught at the college level, so I know what's being taught in textbooks, and then I know in real life world experience what needs to be taught. And so I have combined those 2 bases of knowledge and created programs to teach other women how to do this too. So that's who I am. I'm glad to have you here. It's an honor to have you here. And we're going to dive in today talking about realizing that before I ever had my bookkeeping business, I had to believe it. I had to believe in it. I had to see the vision. I had to know that I could create a bookkeeping business. And the cool thing about you being here, being in this space, is knowing that I have walked before you and I have done it. And God is no respecter of person. So if I've done it, you can do it too. So you see now in the physical world realm, when I explain to you what my business is, you see the results that I have. What you're seeing is that I'm able to take 2 days off when I had a sick child, and my business still operates. I'm still getting paid. Of course, I didn't physically work in my business last week when I had a child home for 2 days. The hours I normally do, I did work for about 2 hours on those 2 days, but I didn't work my normal 3 to 4 hours because I had to attend to her. And my business still operated. I'm still getting paid my monthly pricing packages. But what you don't see is that to get to that point, to build my business out, I did have to sacrifice. I did have to take time to learn my software. I had to take time to learn tax laws of how to do these things. I did invest a lot of time in learning how to do this. And those are things that you don't see now. You just see, what I have in front of you. And if you can grasp this, one of the most important things that I did over a decade ago was I saw what somebody else had, and I knew that's what I wanted. And so I had another friend, bookkeeper, who had a bookkeeping business. And when she pulled back the curtain and showed me what she was doing, I said, that's me. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. So we have to see the vision and know it's possible and know it's doable before we can even step into doing it. And so you're here. I'm so thankful to have you here. But it's important for you to understand that seeing my fully booked bookkeeping business where I get paid pricing packages month after month is what you're seeing. But what you don't see is that I have had to make sacrifices. I have chosen to not pull all of my profit back out of my business. I do keep profit in my business to invest in software, trainings, mentors. I have sowed seeds back in to my education, into leadership skills, into things in my business that I could write off as an expense in my business. But it was valuable as far as investments, investing back in myself. So I have had to have self-discipline not to pull all of my profit back out of my business. And that was really important when I was first starting out, because of course I needed those funds. I could have used those funds for things that I needed in my family, but I decided a certain percentage I was going to keep in my business to keep reinvesting back into finding some mentors I could pay to coach me along this journey, just with my mindset as a business owner, not specifically bookkeeping, but as a business owner. Investing in software, any software I purchased, if I could do trainings on that I invested back in. So those are things that you don't see now, but those are things I did. I did those to invest back in. And lastly, part of my story is I walked away from corporate America. I worked in corporate America after I finished college, and I was working 70 to 80 hours a week, and it wasn't enough. I wasn't spending enough time on client work, as they said. Pulling files and organizing my stuff didn't count. And so I walked away from that industry. And the things that you don't see when I tell you that story are, I had a lot of pushback. Out of the 30 students that I graduated with that I knew, like in a circle from my master's program, all of them moved into the auditing or the tax track after our master's, all with the goal to get the CPA license. I knew that testing was hard for me. I knew that the CPA license was something that would be really hard for me to obtain. Not impossible, but hard. So I started the journey with auditing, working for the Big Five, and I decided the hours, it's just not worth it. How in the world am I supposed to study for the CPA exam? So I did remove myself from that industry. And I now make more doing bookkeeping than I ever made in the corporate arena for a salary. And I decided to do things differently. And I had opposition. And I had some of my friends kind of ask, what are you doing? Because nobody else was really doing what I was doing. I decided to start a family. And then I decided to start serving bookkeeping small businesses with bookkeeping services. And they were in the W-2 corporate world, and I chose to do it differently. And so what I had to do, I had to put my blinders on. Have any of you ever been to a horse race? I've been to a couple in my life. And in Tampa, Florida, I went to one, and I was young, and I think I bid it a little bit on a racehorse, and I won like $50 or something. I was so excited. But the thing that intrigues me about horses that race is the blinders that they put on them. When you research that and you learn why they're on there, it's because they don't need to see the horses beside them. They need to have a clear path, a clear vision of what is directly in front of them, and not have anything else distracting them. No judgments of what others are doing, no comparison of what others are doing. They have their blinders on. And when I look back on my journey, that's what I did. I put blinders on. Now, it wasn't always easy. Did I look this way and that way sometimes? Of course I did. Of course I did. I'd have close family members ask, what are you doing? Why are you not earning more money right now? Well, I had to figure it out. So I was able to put those blinders on, and I did it different than the people that were around me. And most of you who are in here are people like that. You're go-getters. You're wanting something different. You know that the 9-to-5 life is not where you want to stay forever. And you know there's more. You want more impact than what you're doing right now with your 9-to-5 job. And I'm here to show you how to do it. So what we're going to dive into today is the overall arching point of my training today is that you have what it takes to be a bookkeeper. And there's 3 keys that we're going to walk through that each of you have. I'm going to unpack those for you. The first one that I want you to think about is most of us are moms. If we're not moms, we're aunts, we're grandmas. Maybe we teach children. Women are managers of people, of time, of laundry, of dishes, of meals. Ultimately, we are managers of resources as when we have our mom hats on. We manage conflicts between siblings. We manage conflict between us and our spouses. We wear a lot of hats as women. And in that, we have learned how to manage our schedules and our time and our resources. When you think about that, and then you sit that beside the idea of building a bookkeeping business, you begin to see and realize that the things you're going to have to do in your business, you've already built the foundational skill set for it. You're going to have to learn to manage your time, manage accounts. There's going to be some conflicts you have to handle. You're going to have to be able to get information from people, set up meetings, manage your finances. You do that at home too. There's a lot of similarities between what we do as moms in our household and what we have to do in a bookkeeping business. A lot of similarities there. And we have the tools available before us to do that. I'm going to give you a tool today that you can use in this number 1 key of why you're ready for bookkeeping and why you're made to be a bookkeeper. It's a free app. I have it downloaded on my phone. It is called Toggl, Toggl. I will write it here in the comments. Toggl. Toggl is my best friend. Anytime I sit and do client work, I toggle my time on and I record what client I'm working on. The reason this tool is so important is because we tie our time to our task. So at the end of a quarter, I typically run through all of my accounts and I see how much time I spent on each of my clients for 3 months. And then I see what they're paying me. And I decide, am I still profitable? Have I spent too much time on this account for the price that I'm charging them? Was it seasonal? Was it the time of the year they needed their workers' comp report done? So I did have to spend an extra hour with them to do that. Why are my hours more than what I think they should be? So Toggl is a free app that we can use to really hit the ground running with our bookkeeping businesses and have some control as we move forward in this journey. Toggl is amazing. I love it. I use it every day. It is great for building a bookkeeping business. The number 2 key to why I believe you have what it takes to be a bookkeeper, and I've seen all of these characteristics in all of my students that are in my programs. I have hundreds of students that have taken my paid programs, and these 3 similarities are all there. These 3 characteristic and key points. Number 2 is we have to show up. We have to be consistent and we have to show up in our bookkeeping business. That means When you have a bookkeeping client that you are supposed to be reconciling their accounts monthly, this is what I do in my business. I touch that account for example, every Tuesday. I know I'm going to spend an hour on that account, and I'm going to reconcile up to the day before transactions that happened, any credit cards in the bank, any transactions in the bank account, and I reconcile that account weekly. Now, could I do it monthly? Absolutely. I could choose one day a month to sit down and do the monthly, but for me, I just do it in smaller bite-size segments, and weekly I will touch this particular client's books and reconcile it out. So we've got to remember that progress is more important than having everything exactly right and perfect, because we get in our head, we stop ourselves, we get in our head when we think through this about being consistent. Oh, well, I can't do that this week because I got this to do. And I have learned over my 20 years of being in the financial industry, even if you don't feel ready to sit and reconcile that account, just sit down and spend 15 minutes in it. Just sit and do it, because that consistency, that little bit of energy put into it to get some done, is going to pay off dividends in 5 days when you sit down to do it again. Showing up, consistency, communication, the C's, communication and consistency, communicating with your client, letting them know that you're showing up every week. I have one client, I send a weekly email letting them know the IRS tax payment has been processed for their weekly payroll. That's all that's in that email, but they see that email every week. I, as a bookkeeper, stay at the forefront of their minds. They know I'm working on their accounts. They know I'm here. They know I'm active. It's consistency and communication, very important. And again, thinking about our home life with our business life, you're already doing this in your home. You're consistently cleaning the dishes or loading the dishwasher every day, or having your kids do it. You're managing them to do it. You're consistently having laundry done every week for everybody. You're consistently making sure everybody goes to the dentist every 6 months or at least once a year. You are being consistent already. You transfer that over into your bookkeeping business, and you have one of 3 pieces of the puzzle to have a successful bookkeeping business. So that's number 2. And the tool with consistency and showing up that I want to give to you today, I told you I'd give you a tool for each 3 of these. First one was toggle, along with being able to realizing that you already manage time, resources, and people. Number 2 is consistency, communication, and showing up. And the tool to go along with that is QuickBooks Online Accountant. Accountant's the key word here. When you go to Google, I'll type this in here too. QuickBooks Online Accountant. Accountant is the keyword. When you Google this, you will pull up for a page to sign up for free with an account. And you get your account for free. Then, of course, your clients will have to pay for their software as you add on clients in the QuickBooks Online arena. Or you can cover their cost and they'll pay you in your monthly pricing fee. So QuickBooks Online Accountant is the tool that you need for this. This is how you will consistently show up. You will consistently go in and reconcile their bank accounts or credit cards. And you've got the second element of this, of being able to be successful with a bookkeeping business, is consistently showing up. Number 3 key to really diving in and being a successful bookkeeper is having a pricing package structure. I call it the P&P formula, the pricing package formula. As a bookkeeper, we have to operate off of pricing packages and not hourly wages. We're no longer trading our time for money. And in like the world of W-2s, we are still spending our time on the accounts, but the clients that are paying you for the services, they don't see how many hours you're working on it. You have a monthly pricing fee, and this is what they pay you every month to do their books. This pricing formula is very important because this is where you become profitable with being a bookkeeper. Who knows that as trying to think of an example, like as a mom, we do laundry. Well, over 20 years of running a household, I've gotten pretty good at laundry. It doesn't take me as long to do laundry as it did years ago because I've learned what to get rid of clothes that I don't wear all the time. Why does this keep ending up in the laundry? Like I just threw it at the bottom of my closet, eliminating extra baggage that doesn't need to be there. Learning to manage by now I have 3 little ones in the house and they're old enough to do their own laundry. I can help them, teach them how to do this, and they can start doing their own laundry. There goes mom's laundry time just decreased because I'm just doing my laundry and my husband's laundry. So we learn to manage our resources. We learn to get rid of things that don't need to be there anymore because why wash this when I'm not using it that often? Towels that begin to wear, get rid of the towels. Why are we using this towel? Why are we washing it every week? We begin to get better. So as bookkeepers, the longer you have an account and you reconcile that account month after month after month, you get faster at it because you almost memorize the spending habits of those clients. And a lot of people have the same spending habits as they had the month before. And so it's quicker. Our brains, help reconcile these a lot faster. You look at the profit and loss. Is it unusual for them to have $5,000 in income this month when they're normally having $100,000? What's going on? You begin to see patterns. You begin to see systems whenever you are in your company's books. And so the profit is really, really beautiful here. And you transition from being paid hourly to being paid with the pricing package. The tool that I want to share with you with this portion, the third key to building a bookkeeping business, which is having a pricing package formula, is having an engagement letter. And I have this here for you. I'm going to type it in. I do have it here in this group. I'll make sure y'all can find it. It's under files, I believe. I give you a PDF of an engagement letter that you can take and edit however you want to do it. The engagement letter acts as our roadmap. This is where you put in what price you're going to do, reconcile one bank account, one credit card for this price. And I say that because you got to be very specific about what you're going to do, because a lot of times clients forget to tell you, oh yeah, I had 2 other credit cards. We need to pull those in too. So that means your price goes up because it's going to take you more time for data entry. Your engagement letter is a tool that you have to get going. So if someone were to DM you today and say, Angela, I want you to do my books, these are the 3 things that I would tell you need to have: your engagement letter, Toggle, and QuickBooks Online to be able to serve that client. Send them out what, agree upon a price, and here we go. We're ready to rock and roll. And the cool thing about the engagement letter too, that I always like to note and point out, is you can put a time frame in there so that you can adjust your pricing if they add in that extra credit card, or they add in that pricing can stay locked in for a 60-day period. And then you can come back to them and say, okay, it's time for me to adjust my pricing. It's taking me a little longer on this stuff. I need to go up $75 a month on you for the services I'm going to offer. Are you okay with that? So the pricing, the engagement letter, the roadmap protects you and it protects the client. The client knows what you will and will not do. And then you know what is expected of you, what you're going to have to do and what you don't have to do. So the engagement letter is a very powerful tool too. So 3 tools that you need: Toggle, QuickBooks Online Accountant, and then your engagement letter. Those are the 3 that you really, really need to have to run a bookkeeping business. I'm excited to have you here. Tomorrow, I'm going to come back and do another live. I do have the virtual bookkeeping launch program is open until Thursday evening of this week. You will be receiving emails from me. messages here in the Facebook groups. I don't want you to miss it because I have added a live component to it, which will begin next Tuesday. I have 3 different tiers of live. Okay. We're going to have live war room sessions where I'm going to pray over your businesses, answer questions that you may have. I'm going to bring praying into this. We need to partner with the Lord and let him bless our businesses. And I plan to definitely do that, pull that in. And second, that you're going to have in the launch program, that's an added live feature that I'm adding for the month of September, is live work sessions. This is where we're going to dive into gaining clients. Has anybody heard AI, artificial intelligence? Well, I have some things that I'm going to show you and teach you and train you on about what you should be using AI for and what you shouldn't be using it for. I don't want us wasting our time. I don't want us going down a rabbit hole. There are 2 specific ways and tools that you should be using for AI that are free. You don't have to buy these tools, that will catapult your business to the next level. It will give you speed in your bookkeeping business as far as marketing and getting clients. So I will be having 3 live work sessions devoted to building out our client base. And then thirdly, I'm going to have what I'm going to call the acceleration calls. This is where the mindset. We are going to bring in our mindset trainings. I am going to show you how to align your mind with your daily task, with your mindset and your daily task, how to align those together so that you are productive, you are moving towards a goal that's attainable for you, and learning how to really set some good habits in place for your bookkeeping business, because I want us to hit the ground running with our businesses. You get to be in there as with a group of all of my students that are in my program already. And there'll be a Facebook group that you can interact with and ask questions and bounce things off of. I'm super excited to add this live component. I really think it's going to bless so many of my students. I'm calling it the boot camp intensive for gaining clients. Is getting our feet grounded. And I feel like I can't do it without bringing our mindset in with spiritual, with, okay, let's get to work, our work sessions, and find these clients. So I'm excited. The doors will close Thursday evening with this opportunity for you to jump in September with this live. I have not increased the price of the course. The price is still the same as of today. The price will probably be going up after this. But right now it's the same price. I will put the link here for you to jump in. Please join. You can join for under $200 a month for the payment monthly plan. It will change your world. If you are sitting on the fence, then this is what should help you get over. Knowing that you're going to have the live support from me the first month of September when you jump in, to be able to ask questions, to borrow my confidence, to know that you can do this. It's okay to borrow each other's confidence. It's actually biblical. In Acts 10:34, it says that God has no partiality, shows no partiality to anyone, which means if he can do this for me and my bookkeeping business, then he can do it for Angela too. He can do it for Dawn. He can do it for Kara. He can do it for you too. And so sometimes when we're walking this path of building a business, sometimes we need to lean into someone else who's walked that walk before and who has seen the success, so that they can show you the way and they can help you and they can encourage you and they can tell you when things you're experiencing that they're normal. A lot of times we get in our head and we get discouraged and we stop and we lone wolf it. And I don't want anybody lone wolfing. I want you in this program with me, with my students, so that we can do this together. So jump in today. Do not wait. The cart will close on Thursday. I'd love to have you as a student. Jump in today. Let me know if you have questions. You can ask here in the Facebook group. You can email me. I'm sending emails out to you to remind you that this is available. This opportunity is here, and I'd love to have you as a student. I hope you all have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll announce the time in the morning. Wednesdays are pretty packed for me, so I think I may do it first thing in the morning, but the replay will be available for you to come in and watch at your convenience. So good to have you, and I will see you soon.